every keyboard that actually sounds good is way out of my budget. So instead of buying one, I'm gonna build one. Not from scratch, but by taking the cheapest keyboard I can find and pushing it way beyond its limits. Because today I'm testing 5 mods, starting from the simplest one all the way to some of the most dumbest, most questionable ideas I could come up with. And if this actually works, you might never need an expensive keyboard ever again. But first we need something to destroy, work on. So I spent exactly 15.5 minutes doing research and bought the cheapest decent keyboard I could find. This is the Red Dragon K617 Fizz, a 60% gamer keyboard with hot swap red switches and basically nothing else. And RGB, I guess. The keyboard costed me only $23.23, which leaves me with a budget of $26.77 to somehow make it sound amazing. Now technically, I could just buy a better keyboard, but most people watching this video cannot. And honestly, this hobby is ridiculously expensive for absolutely no reason. And if I can turn this into something that sounds good, then anyone can. Anyways, the keyboard showed up. It's cheap and it's light and it sounds exactly how you'd expect it to sound. But let's test it anyways. Quick sound test. Yeah, sounds very plasticky and hollow. But that's fine because we are about to fix it and hopefully not destroy the entire thing. Alright, time for THOCK. Taking off the keycaps was quite easy. The switches though, not so much. Normally you would press these two clips and pull, but here the top clip is so fragile that it just snaps right off. Is this broken? So instead, I had to pull from the bottom and then wiggle the clip from the sides and then do that 60 more times and then unscrew some screws and open some clips. And then finally, we're in. For anyone new here, first of all, welcome aboard. This is the PCB. It tells the computer which keys you pressed, but for us modders, this is where things get interesting. Let's start simple for the first mod. The tape pot is probably the most popular keyboard mod ever. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it and your cat has heard of it, and that's because it just works. All you have to do is add layers of tape to the back of the PCB, and this helps absorb the sound instead of letting it bounce around in the case and sound hollow. Most people do 3 layers, and that's exactly what I did. I tend to overdo things, but not this time because this is just the baseline mod. The biggest problem with this keyboard right now is this hollow plastic case. So instead of letting sound bounce around inside, I'm gonna fill it up, literally. I took a bunch of tissue paper which you can find for really cheap and I stuffed it into the case. This absorbs vibrations and should make the sound deeper and less echoey. It's simple, cheap and surprisingly effective. Now this is where things start getting questionable, because instead of using proper foam, I'm using glue. Yes, pouring glue inside the keyboard. It's not something you would see anywhere, but in theory, once it dries up, it should act like a soft dampening layer, hopefully. So I went all for it. I bought 2 small bottles of glue and emptied an entire bottle here. I know it looks really stupid, and honestly it kind of is, but if it works, it's one of the cheapest mods possible. Or I'll just ruin my keyboard, one of the two. It's a 50-50, I'll take that chance. This one is just unhinged, because instead of adding weight to the case, I'm adding weight directly to the PCB. And I'm using coins for it, which sounds like a terrible idea, because it is honestly. Metal plus electronics is a bad combination. But since we already have 3 layers of tape, there's insulation. So technically, it should be fine. My logic is simple. Coins are dense. More mass means less vibration, means deeper sound. So I glued the coins to the back of the PCB and then I added another layer of tape on top of it. If this works, it's genius. And if it doesn't, well, you'll know then. For the final mod, we are modifying the keycaps themselves, which is bizarre because no one really does this. Usually people just buy new keycaps, but because I'm on a really tight budget, I'm just gonna add weight to them, using glue again. The idea is simple, heavier keycaps equals deeper sound. And this is a proven technique. Usually when building custom keyboards, people really prioritize keycaps. and so I thought maybe I'll try making heavy keycaps myself. But there's a catch. Too much glue and everything just sounds muted and dead. So there's quite a fine balance. Watch till the end of the video to figure out how to find that balance. Also, you absolutely cannot put the keycaps back on the keyboard until the glue is fully dried, unless you want permanently glued keys, which I don't think I can recommend, but your wish, I guess. So at this point, we have tape behind the PCB, tissues inside the case, glue acting like fake foam, coins adding weight, and heavier keycaps. All these mods only costed me a few dollars, and I've put them on a keyboard that costed only $23.23. This should either sound really amazing or absolutely terrible. That is if it works. Putting everything back together, honestly I'm a little nervous because this is the point where everything either pays off or completely falls apart. I'm hoping it's the former. Alright, moment of truth. Let's hear it. Alright, that actually worked. The keyboard sounds way better than when we started. It's actually a THOCK keyboard now, I'm surprised. It's deeper, less hollow, and overall just feels more solid and better to type on. But there's one thing that I definitely overdid. The glue in the keycaps. I didn't just add one massive layer of glue. When the glue had finished drying, I topped it off twice. And yeah, there's a huge amount of glue in the keycaps, and yeah, that did kill quite a bit of the character. The sound did get much deeper, and if you only like THOCK, then of course go all for it. But I'm also realizing that the keyboard had some marbly texture, and yeah, I completely killed it. So if you like marbly keyboards, then definitely do not overdo the glue. In fact, I'd say if you really want a really heavy keycap, then I can't recommend you put a lot of glue in the keycap. Like, you can't use glue as a replacement for a heavy keycap, if you know what I mean. But honestly, for a $23 keyboard, this is kind of insane. We took something gamer and cheap and hollow and turned it into something that actually sounds really good. And the best part is that you can literally copy this. Now this isn't even the final form of the keyboard because I'm going even deeper. First I'm gonna loop these switches, and if you think this already sounds really good, that upgrade alone can completely change the feel and sound of a keyboard. And I've been doing some testing with looping recently, and I think I have found a really unconventional method that can either work really extremely well or it can completely ruin my switches. I hope not though. And after that, I'm gonna try something even more ambitious. I'm gonna take this tray mount keyboard and attempt to turn it into a gasket mount using only cheap available DIY materials. No expensive kits, no premium parts, just pure experimentation. Both the videos are on your screen now, but until then, I hope this experiment was just as fun to watch. And I'll see you later, genies.